people that are getting screwed along the way here, what they're starting to see is one of the things is they're trying to cut out school breakfast and lunches for kids because it makes them learn better. So they know that, so they're going
Yep.
to get rid of that.
Oh, yeah.
And
Guys,
the other thing that is discussing is
Feed after.
going after all universities and saying we're not going to give you any money unless you do what we want. So, I
yeah.
mean,
Well, and, that's the thing. It's like people who run the university, they're old hippies and they're punk rockers. Like, you can't, they're like the last bastion of fuck authority. And and I think some of the, like, Harvard has like $1 billion surplus of just cash on hand. And you can't tell these,
what to teach, who to hire. I mean, come on. I'll tell you what, though, getting way off the subject is I hope Lane Kugler, the father of the daughter and the son-in-law and the kids that were killed, murdered, I hope he gets on talk shows, and that's real important because they tried everything to get the right help and they couldn't get it. Rural areas are even worse, and they they truly thought he might take his own life, but Lane never. I'm sure never, and he's angry. Of course, he's angry. That was his only daughter, and she's dead. And I really feel for him and the family members. It's like, what can I do? What can we do? And I think the best thing that can happen is that he gets on every talk show and says, "This is bad."
he probably won't push this narrative, but the reason that he didn't get any mental health is that it costs the government money, and you're cheaper to the government dead than you are a basket case, and that really needs to be exposed. That we're not willing to take care of our citizens in the richest country
No,
in the
we're
world.
not willing to take care of them in any way. Right now, especially, they're cutting everything. But I mean, they did get help, but not the expertise that they needed.
Well, I don't think they got any help. I mean, sure they might have gotten some, but something like this happens that they didn't even get the bare minimum. Like, that was not.
And I guess Lane, I didn't see it. It was on his Facebook page. How angry he is, and I don't blame him. I would be angry too.
How old is he?
He's 68.
And is his wife still alive?
No, oh yeah, his wife is still
Okay.
alive, but his
Because, I mean, there's a lot of people like that who've lost everything and have nothing else to lose and might go to Washington with a gun. And it's that's not, if it's going to happen now, it's just math. It's just mathematically, like, when is someone going to do something in Washington? You come here.
You know I don't like you. I don't, okay, I don't.
I just feel so bad for that, and you can't outlive the pain. And she
So, especially happening near the end of your life, that's wretched.
and she was such an activist, and she had quite a few followers that understood, and that's another point that needs to be brought up by somebody in the family to say she did everything she could possibly do.
He was an activist with 30,000 followers. Like, this is a big deal.
Yeah, Blaine's brother John, who was a pediatric heart surgeon, was in her wedding, and he was married to such a good kid. But he would, his wife knew how sick he was, and I believe he was schizophrenic.
Yeah, they said that wasn't him. Like, it
Yeah,
wasn't him that committed the murders. It wasn't him when he had his episodes, and I get it, man.
yeah.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, that story didn't come out of nowhere.
Right.
That's
I've always said
that's
that.
a lived thing. That like it's the same with Hulk. Like that story's not made up. Like people experience these things.
That's right. I agree with that 100%. I believe that
Like an alcoholic schizophrenic, that's Jekyll and Hyde. Every guy, every person like that is Jekyll and Hyde.
even Frankenstein's monster. I mean, those things come out of brains that are. I always say that Stephen King would have been, he was a great writer of fairy
Yeah,
tales.
well, exactly. That's what really bums me. I remember seeing this. I don't know. This little boy was murdered, and it was like 3 miles away. Was they caught this teenager? They were really trying to. The DA was trying to railroad this kid, and they looked in his notebook, and it was all this gore and disgusting writing, and it's just like who cares? Like if this kid got published, he'd be a famous writer. Like just because he writes about all this shit doesn't mean he does it.
And then the other disturbing thing was the man that, and I'm sure you saw this too, the man that's in jail who got his door beaten on at 3 o'clock in the morning by kids that were just goofing around, terrorizing, and he, of course, was terrified, especially in this day. Is someone going to try to take me away? Is somebody, and he came down shooting and killed one of the kids. And everybody's comment was, "Why is he in jail?
Yeah.
He was just defending
Yeah,
himself."
he was terrified. He was terrorized and shot at stuff. Like that's pretty logical.
I mean, if someone came and started beating on our front door at 3 in the morning, and I had a gun, I don't, but I mean, the point is
Yeah.
that I'm gonna do something to protect myself.
Yeah.
You're the sweetest little idiot. Sweetest little idiot.
Home, same advice.
Sorry, you button.
Ooh, looks like you found enough echoes. And you're not dead. Very impressive.
Sindri, how do you make anything out of mist?
Odd as it sounds, the dwarves who lived here could craft marvels out of the mists of Niflheim. Keep an eye out for more mist echoes. I could put them to all sorts of use. I suppose you prefer... my brother's work? You're wrong, of course. To work we go. Okay, come back when you need something.
By resource.
I guess.
Sorry.
What speaks to you? Until we meet again, my friends.
Oh.
Alright, Brent. The mist is thinner up here. That's nice. Is that the armor? It looks kind of run down. Can you wear it?
No, it is too small and too old. We will bring it back to the dwarf.
Is that what I think it is?
Useless armor?
Useless? Oh, ye of little faith, this armor was worn by Ivaldi himself. Sure, it's seen better days, but I can restore it with more mist echoes. And it'll help with the effects of Ivaldi's curse.
Unless there is something of value in this workshop, there is little point in staying here.
You saw all the chests in the center chamber, yes? Plus all the goodies tucked away towards the back of the workshop? And the 3 round tears, of course! But might want to be careful with those.
Why's that?
It's a literal tear in the fabric of reality itself. You want to reach your hand through there? Be my guest.
That was it? Okay.
Tell me when! Can't yet!
Seriously, be careful with those realm tears. Let's do it. Or, never mind then.
No, that was the voice. It's like a movie. Sometimes it's made by a guy in a studio banging chains around. Sometimes it's off a big sound library you can buy.
But some of the classes have come out for university, and, they're not practicing adult classes. They have one on
Voice acting?
voice,
I might want to take that.
voice acting. Oh.
feel like I could just waltz right into Hollywood and go an acting career in like 5 years. That attitude can actually get you pretty far. It's a mess. What do you? Well, to be honest, Hollywood's making crap movies. They're making fucking dog shit. The only movies worth watching are Christopher Nolan movies because he makes original, interesting shit. Everything else is just fucking remakes and reboots. Everyone's sick of Star Wars. Everyone's sick of Marvel. Everyone's sick of Disney remakes. Like, we're all done with it. There's a Christopher Nolan movie called Tenet, and it's about being able to go backwards and forwards in time. And you can watch people go backwards in time while they're watching them through a window, and then I had to watch it 10 times, and then I watched all these YouTube videos about it. I still don't understand it. That movie made millions in the box office. What does that tell them? You can have weird, interesting, difficult shit. I swear to God, if they make another Jurassic Park movie, Jesus Christ. Those are dumb. Yes, I got a little.
There's nothing like that first one. It's just like the Star Wars.
Star Wars used to be an event. Now it's just garbage.
Yeah, it was, the story behind the very first one was so interesting because those actors thought, oh my God, this is going nowhere. And it became an icon. But that was the thing with that and the very first, there was a couple of other ones, Jaws, and it was just so refreshing, especially Star Wars, because it was so different. It was different, and it just captured us all. And in the story, to think that those guys thought, what am I doing?
If they started making big action movies and big monster movies without CG and using practical effects, they would double their intake. They would double their profit if they did that. People are sick of looking at cartoon blobs on the screen. I remember when Tim Burton came out with Alice in Wonderland, I had to stop watching it because it's like, this is just like looks like someone threw up watercolors onto some cellulite and I have to watch it. This is crap.
Yeah. It's sad when it deteriorates. Then all of a sudden it becomes a moneymaker.
I don't mind the money making, but
But
I mean,
I know
have some,
that
but original
creativity
ideas
goes-
make.
Yeah, but I mean, when the creativity's kind of gone and it's just another, interesting.
Little piggy. Little piggy, your face is warm and ugly.
I think we're better off letting the snake rest, brother.
Yeah, you're probably right. Thank you!
too cold for this. Calm down, Kate.
Atreus, follow me.
Be right there. Mimir, you never told me what happened with the stonemason's son.
Hrimthur, son of Thamur. After completing his father's masterwork, the Great Wall of Jotunheim, he thought of nothing but making the Aesir pay for their crimes against the giants. Once he longed to fight Thor, but tragedy had brought wisdom to Hrimthur, and cunning. He observed that Asgard's walls were half-built and shoddy, for no Aesir god could be bothered with such tiresome labour. So Hrimthur adopted the guise of an ordinary man and made the Aesir an offer. He would build them majestic new walls, and if he couldn't build them within 2 turns of the season, they would owe him nothing for his labours. And if he succeeded, he asked only for an audience with the goddess Freya. Odin agreed, knowing the task was impossible, but intrigued by the stranger. Hrimthur made short work of it, of course. He had the benefit of his father's training and the aid of a magical stallion for fetching stones. Odin was not happy to find himself on the losing end of the wager, but he seemed to uphold his end of the bargain. Freya was sent to meet the mason, and to her surprise, he wanted only to whisper something in her ear. That being done, he made his way out of Asgard. And when he found Thor awaiting him at the gates of Midgard, he knew he had been double-crossed. But he didn't care, because his plan was complete.
It was? What did he say to Freya?
Only she could say for certain, but I've had many moons to work it out. Hrimthur knew that Freya loathed the Aesir, despite her marriage to Odin, and I believe he gave her the secret to Asgard's defences. Some weakness he may have built in, structural or magical, which I expect will be exploited come Ragnarok when Surtur arrives to burn Asgard to ash. If not sooner.
Another name. Hildur. That dragon, it's Baldur's, isn't it?
Yes.
And you brought it down. To save me?
It was very heroic.
Done.
Another name. Gunnar.
You're familiar with the tale of Skoll and Hoti, bringers of day and night.
Oh yeah, the wolf giants.
Aye. They were born of the arch-wolf Hrothgwynir, a great nemesis of the Aesir gods. Odin captured them as pups and kept them in the kennels of Asgard to hold his foe at bay. But when the sun and moon grew mutinous and stood still, Odin put Skoll and Hoti to use. With his ancient magics, he cast the wolves to the heavens, and they began their chase. And long shall they chase, but not endlessly. For it is foretold that someday Skoll and Hoti will catch and devour their prey. And that day shall be Ragnarok, the twilight of the gods.
But Ragnarok is supposed to be Odin's doom, isn't it? Why would he set the wolves loose if it fulfills the prophecy?
Precisely the question, lad. It's always about control. The wolves determine when Ragnarok begins, and now he controls the wolves. A battle fought on his timetable is a battle he better stands to win.
I'm a recovered alcohol. Oh, cool. Just another thing I'm not fucking welcome. Lara Croft and
Mimir, is there a story for the giant with the flaming sword?
Stuart the Brave. Of course. We've spoken so much of frost giants. It's about time we instead met the most fiery giant of all. Or I can just tell you this story later.
Is that what fell? Stand by. I'm just opening my. Cool. And we're live. Well, I'm seeing my live feed now.
Yeah, it was. Well, we have it set on easy. What is that? Weird.
All right, last one. Uluru, look at that. Maybe we can survive a fight with the Valkyrie now.
Well, I did that.
Here we go.
That little. Yeah, I know I started playing God of War 2, but I wasn't ready for it all. I kind of needed I needed a transition. Turns out like I wasn't fully done with this game.
Right then, where were we? Ah, yes. We were speaking of Soort the Brave, the fire giant. Back when Ymir first emerged from Ginnungagap, it was Soort who followed next. He came from Muspelheim, the fire realm, bringing heat to the young cosmos, conjuring the sun from his primordial flame. But let's come back to that flaming sword, shall we? Soort the Brave forged his sword of flame for one purpose alone: to burn down Asgard when Ragnarok comes at last. His destiny was to fall at the hands of Thor and Odin, but in so doing, strike the blow that leaves their realm in ash and ruin. And
I gotta check a thing.
The world can be born anew. Until then, Alone he waits in Muspelheim, never sleeping, ever honing his fiery blade. Brave, generous soul, who knows he lives but to his doom. All because he chooses to serve a grand cycle so much bigger than himself. To truly embrace your purpose and the patience and sacrifice it demands is to ensure your day will come.
Do you think we'll be there when that day comes?
I've seen enough of war between the gods, but you, little brother, who can say?
Now what?
Glad I'm on your side.
Nice.
Does this even mean that?
No. spy.
Atreus, to me.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
Somebody's coming. Ready for the fight, kid? If there even is gonna be a fight.
Tomb Raider and the guy.
He's a nimble little fucker, I'll give him that. Oh, I thought I was going down somewhere.
Found it.
Oh, I thought you were talking about what I actually found. Beginning of the thing, yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I just felt that way.
Shooting arrows. I'll knock him down. That one's down. Not yet.
squirrel. That's adorable. That's legit the cutest fucking thing ever. Let me see this little guy in action.
Oh, come on! You're fine! What if you try swinging the axe?
Does it have to recharge before I can switch it? Yeah, I got a scroll from, but where's the sea? Weird. And what the fucking point was that of bringing that up here? Pull a little trick here. Hi guys. Who's there in Raul? Do you two know where the last room is for this puzzle? There's island. I'm looking for that ring. See? I know it's on sea. I do not care. I know there's probably Odin spies. Yeah, dude, what the fuck was the point of this? Also, okay.
Ratatoskr!
Oh, come on. You're fine. Ratatoskr saves the day. Again.
Need that thing of that. Thanks, dickface. Right, where's the leg? Right over here. Oh, I found it. I just saw it going through my eye. I just gotta find that stupid chest there. I don't know what these shits do. I know there's an Odin spy somewhere. I just never found it.
If I'm not mistaken, we've yet to discuss the tale of the giant Bergelmir.
Oh yeah, I remember his shrine. He looked happier than the other one. Mostly.
It begins in an ocean of blood.
Finally, a story worth hearing.
If you remember, Ymir, the first giant, was fatally stabbed by Odin. It's in his blood our story starts. Ymir's magical guts poured out in a torrent so violent it threatened to flood all of creation. The Jotnar were unprepared, as the very last of them were washed away in the endless tide. Not just Ymir, but all of giant kind faced extinction. And so would Odin's victory have been complete. But Ymir's kind did not all perish that day. Staying afloat in the hollowed husk of a tree, the frost giant Bergelmir endured, as did his lady wife. For weeks they sailed, until finally they came upon a new land. They called it Jotunheim. And there they would start anew. As father and mother they would multiply exceedingly, and as king and queen they worked to make Jotunheim a land where giants would know no master but themselves. Bergelmir never sought revenge for Odin's slaughter. His vengeance was to live and prosper. He died at peace, a legion of his kin to mourn him. He would ever be known as Bergelmir the Beloved.
Bergelmir the Beloved. Huh. I've never heard a story end that way. Not a true one, anyway.
You do, laddie.
Oh, I've been here. Is that it for you? Just writing some asshole? Man, I'm really struggling to find like somewhere to do some cleanup.